Now at 6, Pitt State introduces their new president during an on-campus event today. Plus,
are you feeling the brunt of the summertime allergies? No worries, I got you covered. I spoke to a doctor and he has some tips on what you can do to protect yourself. Amani, Walton, and Anderson, I'll have that story coming up.
and the Gordon Parks Museum in Fort Scott celebrates a major milestone with a new documentary and book series honoring the legendary photographer.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
A crash in Crawford County claims the life of a Girard, Kansas man. This is KOAM News at 6. I'm Dow Quick. Happened just after 7 this morning at the intersection of Highways 69 and 160 on the north edge of Frontenac. Authorities say an eastbound pickup truck ran a red light and struck a car that was traveling south. The person in that car, 21-year-old Matthew Jeffrey Westhoff Strode, died at the scene. The 16-year-old boy who drove the pickup had no apparent injuries. A former school counselor in Neosho, Missouri pleads guilty to a child sex crime. Jacob Lee Oakes today changed his plea to guilty in the 2nd degree for statutory rape. The Newton County prosecutor says Oakes admitted to having sexual intercourse with a minor under the age of 17. The relationship started in 2021 and continued through at least one incident last year. Oakes was put on leave from the Neosho School District after the investigation began. He's scheduled to be sentenced on August 25th. The new Pitt State president discussed some of his philosophies and priorities during a public introduction to the campus and community this afternoon. Dr. Thomas Newsom says the university will face enrollment challenges as high school graduation numbers decline and the economy evolves in the years ahead. Says PSU needs to be more flexible and more understanding of the needs of students and local communities.
We need to be more understanding of what students' needs are, what our workforce needs are in our local communities. And then as a university, we need to build a culture of enrollment. And we need to build a culture where everyone on our campus understands the importance of enrollment, the importance of how enrollment drives capacity and resources. And then you have to be strategic.
If you'd like to hear all of the president's comments from today's conference, you should know we posted them on our website, KOAMnewsnow.com. Let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Doug Heddy now for our first look at the weather.
Yeah, and it actually turned out to be another nice one for us today. It was hot, it was humid, it feels like summer out there, and that's what we are going to see this week. Temperatures staying near 90, if not into lower 90s. Hit or miss random storms Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Most of us will stay dry though this week. Temperature staying into the 90s even as we go into the weekend. Now we are tracking thunderstorms kind of skirting, just clipping our northwestern counties. Most of us will stay dry tonight into Tuesday. A random isolated storm tries to pop up during the afternoon, but pretty much a carbon copy as we go through the next few days. Look at the ongoing thunderstorms. Central Kansas mainly will rotate around us. It's hot. It's still near 90 outside for us right now, and still our heat index kind of mid 90s across the region. We're going to look at the rest of the week here in just a bit.
Catching a few. Summer is officially here, and plenty of folks in the area say they're already feeling all kinds of summer allergy symptoms, from watery eyes to itchy throats. KOAM's Lonnie Walton spoke to a pharmacist from Alps Pharmacy in Anderson for advice on how to find relief.
I spoke to a local resident who says her summertime allergies are giving her more than just a headache.
My eyes, even my ear, my left ear kind of has some, almost like swelling. It feels bigger.
Angela Smith is a customer at Alps Pharmacy. She says allergies in the summer is just a tip of the iceberg.
Kind of all year round, off and on. Like last Wednesday and Thursday was rough.
And she's right about that. Dr. Cody Yoke from Alps Pharmacy says patients are coming in with those annoying symptoms already.
Runny nose, sometimes a dry cough or mild throat irritation. I think right now we have a lot of ragweed in bloom again.
Although there are several drugs you can take to relieve the pain, we found some favorites.
Zyrtec.
I like to take a Zyrtec and one of the Excedrin extra strength.
Of course, if these aren't for you, there are several over-the-counter drugs.
And do Flonase over the counter. It's a nasal spray to help with that, or there's also Nasacort.
There is also relief for those who like to be outdoors.
The basic fabric mask or cloth mask. Keep your nose and mouth protected.
It's kind of hard to go in and out of places. I mean, just either stay in or find your medicine that helps.
And Dr. York goes on to say that drinking a lot of water and getting a lot of rest can help you feel a lot better during this season. Reporting in Anderson, I'm Lonnie Walton, KOAM News.
Dr. York cautions you should be mindful of what you plan on doing, as some of these medicines can cause sleepiness or drowsiness. An award-winning documentary film crew is interviewing Fort Scott, Kansas residents for the 75th celebration, the anniversary celebration of Gordon Parks' unpublished Life magazine piece titled Back to Fort Scott. Although it didn't appear in the magazine at the time, the piece came to light in 2015. Now the film crew is talking with relatives of Fort Scott residents who were featured in Gordon Parks' original piece. The crew will highlight the voices and lives that capture the spirit of Fort Scott.
I would like for people to make that connection, to come away with Fort Scott is better than it was when Gordon was here in 1950 and what he experienced. It was still segregated in 1950 when he was on his Life magazine assignment. It's gotten better.
The project pays tribute to Parks' unpublished 1950 photo essay on segregated schools and the lives of his former classmates from the Plaza School. Summer means signing season for a couple of Purple Dragons. Two Pittsburgh High School standouts will take their talents to the next level. John Dales has their story coming up later. Plus, as federal funding gets cut, a Missouri Addiction Recovery Center secures a crucial state grant for family support programs. Missouri is distributing some of the nearly $900 million it expects to get from drug companies for opioid settlements. Matt Evans shows us how one group will spend the money it just received.
For those in recovery from addiction right now at Healing House.
I've spent the majority of my adult life in addiction. I've been in and out of jail, in and out of prison.
I lost my wife, I lost my kids, I lost it all.
They know just how crucial the support of family and friends will be for their long-term healing.
The support, I don't think that I could stay sober without it.
And I'm starting to come out of that dark place I was in.
That's part of the reason why Healing House founder Bobby Jo Reed is so excited about a $300,000 grant her organization just received from the state.
I'm sure we'll use every dime of it.
To focus on supporting the families of those in recovery.
This will involve one-on-one counseling, therapy for children, therapy for the whole family.
It also comes at a crucial time as federal grant funding to Healing House and other treatment centers nationwide is getting cut.
I need to go see the president for real because I got a lot to tell him.
Which is why Bobby Jo is hopeful that the hundreds of millions of dollars Missouri is expected to receive from opioid settlements will do even more good for organizations like hers all across the state.
There is no way that I or God would let this place collapse. There's too much good being done here.
So far, Missouri has spent more than $80 million in opiate settlement money. It's estimated the state will get nearly $900 million by 2038. A little bit later, Cody College announces a new head basketball coach. John has details coming up in sports.
Plus, it looks like the heat and the humidity stick around. We're going to look at that coming up. Well, it turned out to be a hot and humid Monday for you. Temperatures up there once again. Most of us 90 to about 91 degrees. Very consistent to what we have seen over the past couple days. And this is very consistent to what we are going to see as we go through the next few days. But it's nice out. Great shot of our Cornell Arts and Entertainment Complex. Look at our temps. So a hot evening. If you are going to be out, 89, 90, 91 degrees across the region. And our dew points have been high. Dew points measuring our moisture in the atmosphere at the surface in a degree fashion. When they push 70 or above, it feels pretty muggy to soupy. And that's what we're going to see as we go through the next few days. Look at our heat index, still anywhere from about 92 upwards to 103 once you get out toward Iola. So it's hot. It's humid. That's what we're going to see as we go through the evening hours. We only drop back mid-70s later on tonight. ongoing thunderstorms, really from Wisconsin, Iowa, all the way back through parts of New Mexico. And some of these are clipping just our northwestern counties. You can see a couple little showers, Greenwood County, most of the action out toward Wichita along and west and along and north of Interstate 35. But a few of these guys, Eureka, Yates Center, up toward Burlington, Garnett, random shower or two, but most of the thunderstorms will stay west of that. We've been dominated, big dome of high pressure pushing east, and some of that Gulf moisture is kicking into the Central Plains. This is actually a very strong cold front that's never going to make it to us, but it's kind of pulling in that moisture, and with it, we could get an isolated thunderstorm or two over the next couple days. All right, here's midnight storms just northwest of Yates Center, kind of riding up near Kansas City. We stay dry, mid-70s to start on your Tuesday. As we go through the day, we will see those temperatures kind of warming up once again. We'll go into the upper 80s by noon. Most of us 90, 91 degrees. Notice an isolated storm. 95% of us will stay dry. But yeah, there's going to be one or two guys out there. Tomorrow night, anything that would form falls apart through the evening hours. So let's go into Wednesday for you. Starting low to mid 70s, warming up through the day again. An isolated thunderstorm. 95% of us will stay dry. Heat indices stay up there. Heat index once again upper 90s to near 100 on your Tuesday. We'll do it again on Wednesday. Heat index upper 90s to near 100 degrees. 75 to start, 88 by noon. High temp 91 degrees. Let's go through the second half of the week. Here's Thursday, near 90, isolated storm. So this continues. Friday, maybe an isolated storm, but they kind of down tick a little bit as we head into the weekend. Temperatures lower 90s, so it's going to be hot, it's going to be humid. Look at Sunday, lower 90s. Better chances for thunderstorms getting in here as we get into Monday as a cold front tries to push into the region. 91s next few days, then 92s. Random storm, but again, most of us are going to end up staying dry this week. A little better chances to get some widespread thunderstorms early next week.
Summer weather, right on schedule.
Very typical, yes.
Thanks, Doug. City of Carthage is going to begin spraying for mosquitoes starting this evening. Spraying is going to run from tonight until Friday night between the hours of 8 and midnight. City wants to remind residents to turn off attic or window fans when the sprayer is in your immediate area. In case of rain, spraying will be rescheduled and completed the following week. Still ahead, Cotty College hires a new head basketball coach, and a Pittsburgh Purple Dragon signs to join the track and field program at Fort Scott Community College. John Dales has those stories and more up next in sports.
It may be summer, but this week a couple of Pittsburgh Purple Dragons student athletes signed letters of intent to continue their careers at the collegiate level, the first being today. Pittsburgh High School 2025 graduate Traz Weathersby signs his letter of intent this afternoon to join the track and field program at Fort Scott Community College. He's relatively new to the sport, only been running for about 2.5 years, but the future Greyhound says his teammates and coaches at PHS are a big reason why he's able to earn a scholarship and compete at the next level.
Too much running, but Isaiah, on the other hand, as a 400 runner together, he kind of pushed me because I used to beat him all the time, and now it's the other way around. So about that, Isaiah pushed me. Coach Oz, on the other hand, a lot of running, but it was worth it. And I'm pretty sure he's glad to see this moment.
And some local college basketball news today as well. Cotty College announces this morning that it has hired a new head basketball coach. Tim Eatman is the new leader of the Comets women's basketball program, and he brings over 3 decades of coaching experience with him, primarily at the NCAA Division I level. Eatman's been involved in coaching women's basketball since the late 80s, but his first head coaching opportunity came with the University of Illinois Chicago for 4 seasons from 1998 to 2002. After being an assistant at Arkansas and Louisville, he was then associate head coach at Arkansas for 4 seasons. Most notably, he was an assistant at Rutgers for 8 years and led the Scarlet Knights to their best finish in the Big Ten in program history while taking over as acting head coach in 2019. Most recently, he was the head coach at South Carolina State for 3 years. And we're almost 3 months into the 2025 Major League Baseball regular season. Surprisingly, tonight is the first time that the Cubs and Cardinals face each other all year. St. Louis is currently 4.5 games back of Chicago for first place in the NL Central. First pitch is just about 20 minutes away at Busch Stadium. And we're 1 day removed from the Thunder winning Game 7 of the 2025 NBA Finals, delivering the state of Oklahoma its first professional sports championship. With how high expectations were for OKC, for some, winning it all is actually a relief.
Feels amazing. So much weight off my shoulders. So much stress relieved. Like, no matter what, like you go into every night wanting to win, and sometimes it just doesn't go your way. And tonight could have been one of those nights, but we found a way. I'm so proud of this group. I wouldn't have rather done it with any other group in the world. It feels good to be a champion.
And everybody talked about you need experience to win a championship, and you need this, that, and the other. And I said multiple times through the postseason with this team that the good basketball is good basketball. Winning basketball is winning basketball. And the best team can win no matter what happens if you go out there and execute and do the stuff that you need to do to win the game.
And we saw some of the celebrations in Oklahoma City last night at the end there. We're sure there's going to be more tomorrow morning. 10:30 a.m. is the championship parade.
Wow, they waste no time. What a thrill for those fans and for the entire state of
Definitely,
Oklahoma.
yeah.
We'll be right back.
A four-state hero.
Here's a look at what's coming up on KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14 tonight. Grandma hobbies are trending as Gen Z embraces knitting and baking and crocheting to unplug and unwind. Plus, smart tips on sunscreens and bug sprays every parent needs to know. And a group of volunteer firefighters kick off their big fireworks fundraiser. Those stories, a lot more, of course, it's coming up tonight. KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. The Girard Public Library celebrates summer reading with the return of its Scholastic Book Fair. The event gives families a chance to build their home libraries while supporting the library itself, with a portion of sales going toward new books for the shelves. The fair features a wide variety of options, from board books for toddlers to picture books, chapter books, even cookbooks for all ages. It's also time to coincide with the library's summer reading program, encouraging kids to stay engaged in literacy while school's out.
I find that it's very, very good to have children have easy access to books to be able to build their home library. And by hosting it during our summer programs, we can share about our programming as well that we have for all ages throughout the summer.
The library has hosted the fair nearly every year since 2010, and staff say it's a fun way to share the joy of reading with the community. Might be a good week to find someplace cool, indoors, air-conditioned, to read a book, because it's getting pretty hot out there, Doug.
Yeah, consistent is the key word. Temperature staying about the same every day, heat index staying about the same every day, and also a random isolated storm each and every day. So, of course, the hottest time of the day, 1 p.m. to about 5 p.m. So if you want to avoid that, stay inside.
Good idea. Final sports notes.
I'll have more from the Cubs and Cardinals later tonight. St. Louis trying to make up ground in the NL Central.
See if they can do it. Thanks for joining us. We're going to see you right back here for KOAM News at 10. Let's make it a great evening.